Hey guys, Simon Drizelian here, the voice of reason, and let's have a talk about Ukraine, shall we? Because this is just going off the chain in its ridiculousness. So let's get something really clear. Ukraine has never been our friend, right? There is no link to Ukraine and the West for generations, right? During the Second World War, the Ukrainians were actually on the Nazi side, fighting against Russia, and that's continued to this day. There's a lot of neo-Nazi groups there, but they had their own SS unit. I mean, it was quite a big one. I think it was even a division. So they weren't our friends in the Second World War, and then after the Second World War, when they got subsumed by the Soviet Union, the Ukrainians were actually one of the best parts of the Soviet Union, military-wise. I mean, I remember this because I was in British military intelligence during that time, and all of the best GRU and KGB guys were all Ukrainian. They were all out of Kiev, and all of their best guard units were Ukrainian, and that's why they're so effective against Russians. They know the equipment, they know how they work, they know the military doctrine. These guys were hard and fast communists. They were part of the Soviet Union right up until 1990. Then they became an independent country, but they still were not friends of the West. It was only when the West got rid of the pro-Moscow government and installed Zelensky that things even started to look up. And the reason for that is because of the resources that Ukraine has. It's the breadbasket of Europe. It's the place where all of the pipelines go through. So all of Russian oil has to go through Ukraine to give the gas to Germany. That's why it was useful. So do not think for one moment that this is about culture or democracy or freedom or anything like that. Ukraine does not have a democracy. It is as near to a dictatorship as you're ever going to find. It doesn't have any of those type of values whatsoever. This is about money, nothing else. It's about money. It's about the military-industrial complex being able to sell massive amounts of weaponry to Ukraine under the auspices of doing something right. And at the end of the day, this always goes back to the thing of my enemy's enemy is my friend, okay? Because they're kicking Russia's ass a lot, and they're using the technology. We're being able to trial technology in a battlefield situation. We're being able to get rid of all the stuff that we don't want. All of it's past its sell-by date, and many people are getting very rich, and a lot of people in Ukraine are getting very rich. So let's get rid of this bleeding heart thing of we're all doing this because we're doing it for democracy. That is BS, total BS. America has been in enough wars that it shouldn't have been in. When is America ever going to learn? So what, should we have stayed in Korea during the Korean War? No. Should we have stayed in Vietnam? Another war that they shouldn't have been in. Should we stayed in Panama? Should we have stayed in Grenada, in Afghanistan, Iraq? Somalia. You could go on. When does it stop? When does it stop? When people start saying, you know what, we should only fight wars that actually affect us and affect our freedom and our citizens. Why are we sending our troops and anyone else off to war? I know we don't supposedly have boots on the ground in Ukraine at the present time. A lot of NATO people do, and I just don't see that there is anything useful in this war whatsoever. Right now, they should just do a deal. They should let those parts of Ukraine that really feel that they're Russian, because they are ethnic Russian in Luhansk and Donetsk, let them secede, stay with Russia. Create a massive line, and then have UN troops, create that line, just like they do, in Lebanon, just like they do in Cyprus, just like they do in the Golan Heights. Just create a ceasefire. Why is everyone just wanting to go to war? There is absolutely no reason for it. I've been in enough conflicts to know that there is nothing good that comes out of war at all. Okay, so just get some peace in, and this is not a bipartisan measure. Why are the Democrats always wanting to go to war and stay in wars? Why? There's only one reason, and that's for money, because it ain't about democracy, it ain't about freedom. Okay, it's about power, and about globalist power. That's what it's all about. Anyway, Simon Trezelyan, rant over, out to you. Bye bye now.